Redefining Family, A Birthmother's Path to Wholeness by A.K. Snyder. Read by the author. Regret. You'll regret it. I heard it again and again. I am not one to cling to regrets, or even to allow myself to wonder what if. But now, 18 years later, I will answer the question. Do I regret it? Do I regret getting pregnant at 17? Do I regret carrying you through to delivery? Do I regret placing you for adoption? The answers do not come easily and cannot be given out of context. You need the whole story. Part 1. Before. Derek. I am 17 and I have met the love of my life. He writes me poetry. Want to go to the library? I ask my 2-year-old niece. She grins and pulls the stroller out of the closet. We have made this walk many times in the 6 months that I've lived with my sister Joyce. I have not settled into this sprawling suburban high school, with more students than my hometown's population. The library offers a dose of the familiar, and internet. Desiree flips through picture books, while I get online and check my email. New poems from Derek. He doesn't write me love poems, nothing so cliché. No, his work is broody, full of hurt and despair, like me. His work examines the world, our society, peels back layers, and diagnoses the dark side of our being. I am fascinated with his perspective. I have told no one my secrets, why I live with my sister now, why I won't see my father, why I feel alienated and alone. These things are all too big, too hard to look at, too much for me right now. I focus on getting by, head down, do the work, put in the effort, and keep moving forward. I can't stop now, or I fear I'll never move forward again. But Derek makes me think maybe I can do both. Maybe I can start to look at these experiences through a poet's lens and unravel them in slices. Maybe they won't destroy me. Maybe I can find happiness this way. Derek makes me feel like I will be okay someday. I am in love. Desiree tires of her books. She climbs back into her stroller. We stop at the grocery store on the way home. Dried papaya for her, sugary iced tea for me, and milk. I was supposed to get milk. I hang the plastic bag with the gallon of milk from the handle of the stroller and walk home. Moving out. For the last 6 months, I've shared a room with my niece, while my sister and her husband, Matt, worked mad hours trying to make a home for their kid, plus me, an unexpected tenant who doesn't pay rent. I like living with Joyce and Matt, but I am missing out. I tried to fit into this overwhelming school of thousands. I never found my footing. And now it is summer, and I am alone. I picture my old friends hanging out at the dock, at bonfires, in basement family rooms watching movies and making inside jokes, without me. Plus, Derek lives in my hometown now, and he's friends with my old friends, my group before I moved out, before my life changed. I tell Joyce, I'm going back. Mom says I can live with her, but she and my little brother, Mark, are just starting to make it. They are staying in my uncle's house, across the driveway from Grandma, on the farm where Mom grew up. Grandma helps as much as she can. A cousin down the road takes Mark sometimes. She has a son who is also around 10 years old, and they play well together. If I move back in with them, I'll disrupt their tenuous stability. I used to be responsible for Mark. Take him with me when I worked at the grocery store. He would shoot hoops at the community center until I bought us lunch, Ritz crackers and a jar of peanut butter. Then I would go back to work and he would hang out until my shift ended. I brought him everywhere with me, bought our food, made our plans. But now, he has adults caring for him again. I don't want to mess with that. Plus, I want to be a little irresponsible. I want to run off with Derek, see the graffiti gardens he talks about, read poetry and listen to music, lie in the grass and talk about possibilities, endless possibilities. I tell Mom I'm staying at my friend Julia's, but Julia's parents would never go for this. I'll figure something out. Crashing. Derek knows a place. He and his buddy have been crashing here for the last couple months. He says I can stay. I tell him I need a job first so I can pay rent. No rent, he says. He has beautiful thick eyelashes and a mischievous grin. He shows me the place. A 2-story building on Main Street, a bar on the main level. The second story is empty. I think there was once a fire here. We climb up the back fire escape and crawl through a broken window. There are no walls, only studs. The sunlight casts a yellow tinge, dust particles caught in the air. It smells of old wood and young men. A raggedy couch, a futon, a gallon jug of water next to a cooler. You live here? I ask. For now. Life is not about the endless accumulation of wealth and stuff. It's about art and thought and poetry and music and love. Derek and I have spent hours discussing these things. And here, I would have freedom. And I would have Derek. Where do you go to the bathroom? Gas station. He points out the window to the station across the street. They're open till 10. The laundromat, he moves to another window, is open all night, and you can wash up in the bathroom there and no one cares. Huge bathrooms. There's no electricity, but who needs it? The sky should be dark at night, so we can see the stars and recognize how small we are, how small our troubles are, how infinite everything else is. Can I see the roof? That's my favorite place. He takes my hand. We crawl out a different window and scramble to the roof. Yes, I could live here. He pulls me into his arms, and I am happy. 24. Derek is 24. I am 17. Don't you see? Mom says. There's something wrong with that. Why does he want to date a girl so young? I'm not a child, I say. I'm very mature. And what's so wrong with me? Why shouldn't he love me? He loves me. He is 24. I am 17. And I see nothing wrong with that. Shrug. 6 months later, we sit on the hood of the car, Derek and I, waiting for a friend to emerge from the store. What if we got pregnant? I ask him. He shrugs. I'd probably give it to my sister Joyce, I say. Why not get an abortion? He asks. I shrug. I don't think that's right for me, but I can't explain why. My feminist side won't regurgitate pro-life arguments, but I also know that's not the right path for me. Our friend returns. Ready? We shrug. Let's go. Fight. Derek and I fight a lot. Alone, we have fun. He is sweet and compassionate, and I adore him. But with others, he is distant and dark. He pulls me away, back into our own circle of two. If I have fun without him, if I make him feel left out, I have to spend the next couple of days reassuring him that things are okay. I try to include him, but he doesn't join, doesn't want to be included. He says I am different around my friends, and I know he's right. I go back to an old version of myself, a happier version, a shallower, younger version, a version of me he doesn't like. We fight and make up, we break up and make up, and eventually, I decide this isn't going to work for me. News. I think I know why you've been feeling so lousy, the doctor says. You're pregnant. I say nothing. Do you know who the father is? She asks. Yes, my boyfriend. Well, my ex-boyfriend now, but we're still friends. As though that matters to her. I can't be pregnant, I say. I'm going to college next week, doing my senior year at St. Cloud State. The doctor nods. What do you want to do? I want to take another test, I say. I want a different result. There is a blood test we could do, but the one you took is 98% accurate. And it fits with you feeling tired all the time, and nauseous, and sensitive to smells. I can't swallow. Can I get you something? She asks. Water, maybe? Mom drove me here. She is out in the lobby waiting for me. I cannot go out there and tell her this news. Yeah, water, please, I say. And maybe a minute alone? Do you have a pen and paper? She fetches a paper cup of ice-cold water and a branded pharmaceutical pad of paper. I'll be back in a few minutes. I scrawl my panic onto the paper. My letters grow large and loopy. I write out my plan, or as much of a plan as I can think through at this moment. The words are a mess, but my head stops swimming. Today, I need to pull myself together. Just keep it together. I need to tell Derek before I tell anyone else. When the doctor comes back, I tear off the sheets and shove them in my back pocket. Do you know what you're going to do? I'm going to give it up for adoption, I say. Her face is soft and sad. I'd like to see you back again in the next couple weeks, then. Talk about prenatal vitamins and make a plan together. I can't. I'm going to college next week, moving to St. Cloud. They have medical staff on site at the college. It's important to start seeing a doctor regularly, especially early in the pregnancy. I nod, take a deep breath, and try to cover my face in calm. Mom puts down the waiting room magazine. What did she say? Just nerves, I say. Grandma, I am pregnant. I am 17, a senior in high school, on my own, and headed to early college in a week. And I am pregnant. I refuse to be a statistic. I will not drop out of school. I will not end up a distracted mom of 4 kids from 4 dads, all of us living on welfare, going nowhere. I will not fail. I'm going to tell Derek today. He doesn't have a job, so no problem getting him to connect with me on a random weekday afternoon. But he also doesn't have a car, so we invite our friend Shelley. Want to go to those beautiful gardens in St. Cloud, the ones we drive by and never visit? She's game, and happy to drive. While I'm waiting for them to show up, I remember I was supposed to get Grandma's mail. I run to the mailbox, then take her letters across the driveway to her house and let myself in. Hey, Grandma, I have your mail. Grandma comes out of the bedroom smelling of icy hot. Oh, thank you. She stops and looks at me. I must be wearing my anxiety on my face again. Are you okay? She asks. I nod, but suddenly tears and panic and fear clog my throat. Damn it, I need to get through today. When do you leave for school? Next week. I have a little something for you, she says. Hold on. She shuffles into her bedroom and returns with an envelope. I know she hasn't a dime to spare, but I cannot reject the offer. This isn't necessary, I say. The high school pays for my college this year. She just pats my hand. It's necessary, she says, and I thank her and hug her and tuck it away unopened. A few minutes later, standing in the driveway, waiting for Derek and Shelley, I open the envelope. $100 bill. And a sticky note. For the little one. Smiley face. I have no idea how she knows. Derek. Shelley pumps gas. Derek and I are alone in the car. I went to the doctor yesterday, I say. He looks at me, ice blue eyes. And? I can't choke out the word. I don't have to. He looks at my stomach, then back at my eyes. I nod. Before he says anything, Shelley is back in the car, and we are off to the well-tended gardens in full bloom. Bloom. Derek and Shelley and I walk through gilded trails, purples and reds and oranges in full August splendor. It is the end of the season's flowers, and the air is thick with their scent. We don't tell Shelley, but she senses something is up. She takes her camera and heads off on her own for a while, then returns, then off again and back again. Derek and I talk in the gaps. What do you want to do? He asks. Give it up, I say. That's a relief, he says. If you want to get married, when you turn 18, I would do that. I don't mind helping you raise it. Or I could help you pay for an abortion. Just don't expect me to pay child support. I won't do that. What a charming offer. Thanks, I say. Are you still moving to St. Cloud? He asks. Yeah. I got a job there, he says. I start next week at a restaurant. I could probably get you a job too. That would be great. I haven't found anything yet. I'm a supervisor. I hope you don't mind if I'm your boss. But I could help take care of you. If you're sick or something or have a doctor appointment, I could cover for you. Yeah, good. That would be good. Shelley takes photos of Derek and me in cheesy poses, holding hands on a park bench, poking our heads through a vine-covered arbor. He knows now. And he's not going to fight me on the adoption, or try to keep it himself. And he's offered to help me using the small amount he has to offer. It's as good as I could hope for today. Lost. I am pregnant. Joyce is also pregnant. That day in the parking lot, when we talked about what I would do if I got knocked up, and I said I would give it to Joyce, it never occurred to me that she could be pregnant at the same time. What if she decides she can't handle 2 babies? What if she won't take mine? I have no backup plan. I have no idea what I would do. She has to take this baby. She has to. There has to be a way. I called to tell her I'm pregnant, but her voice is wrong. Something is wrong. Are you okay? I ask. No, she is not okay. She went to the doctor today. Her baby has no heartbeat. At 15 weeks, she's not sure if it was a boy or a girl. She named the baby Casey, her lost little one. She is heartbroken. I do not tell her. Not right now. I am so sorry, I say. I am certain I killed her baby. My longing, my desperation, my determined, focused desire to clear a space in this world for my baby destroyed Joyce's child, cleared her womb and her heart, and it is all my fault. I am so sorry, I repeat. Sick. I cannot live in the dorms at the college because I'm too young. I thought I would be able to find a cheap apartment off campus, but no one will rent to a 17-year-old, and the apartments are way more expensive than I expected. I find a cheap, horrible efficiency, the kind willing to illegally rent an apartment to an underage kid. It's an upgrade for me. It has plumbing and electricity. The landlord is a decent guy. He walks me through the building and tells me which units house guys I need to avoid. I don't ask why I need to avoid them. I just thank him for the information. I use my entire restaurant paycheck to cover the rent. I throw up every day, many times a day, for months. I drop from 135 pounds to 102. The doctor says she'll admit me if I can't keep myself hydrated. I live on free meals from the restaurant and Slim Fast shakes. The shakes my doctor recommended, a cheap and easy way to get some vitamins in me, and I can usually keep them down. I do well in my classes, when I make it in, but I am so sick I miss about half. I keep up on the readings, and I learn things easily. I show up for tests, even if I throw up before, during, and after them. When the state finally approves some food money through WIC, I can buy peanut butter and cheese and milk and cereal. I can't keep most of these things down, but the cereal helps a little. Abortion. Derek's buddy, the one who lived with us above the bar, walks me home from my shift at the restaurant. You don't have to do this, you know, his buddy says. You don't have to be pregnant. I already told you I don't want an abortion. Maybe think of it more like an intentional miscarriage. You just aren't ready for a baby. So tell your body you aren't ready for a baby, and if you want, I can get you some herbs to help, or a doctor. There are things you can do. I don't say anything. You're never going to make it, Alicia. At least not much above where you are now. This is going to break you. Your emotional level, your psychological level, will always be piss poor. You will never recover from this. This friend of ours, he offered to help me get an abortion before. Many times before. And not just him. My friends' parents, they've all offered. If I need a ride, if I need the money. There's no reason to walk this terribly difficult path, they tell me. You don't know what you're in for, they tell me. It'll be harder than you think, they say. Every week, for the first few months, someone tries to convince me I am making the wrong decision. It is always out of love, out of compassion. They are so certain that they could make my life easier if I would only listen to them. But I don't feel loved. I feel so very alone. I can't listen to them because I listen to you. I feel you. You are me and I am you. You are not a decision I get to make. You are something else. You belong here. You belong in this world. I can't explain it. I don't fight them on politics. I'm not an advocate for any side. I am only an advocate for you. It takes me 3 months to tell my mom and siblings about you. 3 months to find the words. And then I learn to lean toward family. My sisters, my mom, they help me navigate. No trying to convince me to do something else. No challenging my path. Just support. My older brother, disappointed in my news, wraps me in acceptance and caring, and let me know how I can help, and if there's anything at all I can do. My little brother, eager to help, eager to show me love and make me laugh. Family. I wish one of them lived here, in this city with me. I wish I could afford the long-distance bill so I could talk to them, get a shot of support from them every day. But it is just me here, and I am so very alone. But for you.